What if I was to tell you the sky isn't real? Here we got a clip where we have an overblown, washed out sky. And what I did was I just took our 3D qualifier and did a little swipe up here in the cloud section right before the building kind of moved. So we're getting a little sample here. And then I fed that with an alpha into this sky replacement node. And then I'll show you how the sky replacement node works. We turn this on, you get a nice little fake sky going on. So you can look that up in your effects. I just typed in sky. So let's go ahead and reset it, and I'll delete it, and we'll show you how that works. So on node number 1, grab your 3D keyer. Let's go ahead and reset that. Reset our node. And I'm just going to the HSL qualifiers here, or the qualifiers. And over here on the right, I'm going to choose 3D. So now we have a 3D keyer. And I'm just going to select through here, and it's going to show me as it's selecting. That looks pretty good to me. Cool thing is you don't have to track this. So now we need the sky replacement node. So up here in the effects library, I just typed in sky, drop that down and place it in the node stream. Now the video comes through, but in order for the sky replacement to work, you have to feed it this key output. So grab that and feed it into the first alpha. Now it's black because you have to adjust your sky over here in your effects parameters. So you could say preview sky mask, or you can click on here. You have preview artificial sky. You have to choose artificial sky, and then there's an opacity slider. So you can bring that up. And then you could change the actual color of the blue if you wanted it. You can change a horizon line. So if we say preview the sky, here's our horizon down at the bottom, and here's the regular skyline. So if you needed to change the softness level or the angle, you can do all that and change the color. And then to get clouds in, there's a little checkbox for clouds. Same thing, you have opacity. And then you have cloud scale if you want them bigger or larger. You can tilt them. You can add a little bit more detail. And these are keyable as well. So let's say we wanted to start here. One other thing before I jump to that key, let's just play this shot. You can see it's not really moving correctly. Down here in the inspector, there's sky position. So you have a few ways to track. I'm going to leave it on track foreground, and then we're going to hit track foreground. Now you can see that back plate's moving along with it. And then you just hit auto size for motion, and it'll replace it. And then we can play this back, and it actually pans with the sky. Now you can see we got some weird noise going on the light pole and things like that, and a little bit of a section that needs to be cleaned up here. As you can see, we don't actually reach that. So I'm going to go back to this first node with the 3D qualifier. I'm going to choose add and just do a little bit more over here just to make sure that gets covered. So now that looks pretty good. We'll go back to the sky replacement, and that doesn't look too bad. We can refine right here. Now remember, this is all about your key essentially. There are some things you can do here in the sky replacement, such as changing your foreground appearance right here. So if you needed it to fit in with your sky, you have some brightness controls and saturation and things like that. You have a little bit of lens distortion as well, and some exposure. You can actually add some grain as well. So there's some cool features here inside this plugin. The one thing I wanted to show you was everything pretty much relies on the key. Now with the mask, you can refine the edge here, and that helps. So even just hitting this refine scale got rid of most of that noise on the light pole. So let's go to the start of the shot here. That looks pretty clean. So if we wanted to dial in some different clouds, we could actually add some more detail and add a little fill. Now here's what I was saying about keying. Let's go to here, and we'll go to cloud scale, or we'll just go to this whole cloud section, put a keyframe in here, and then we'll go forward in the shot. and then change the scale a little bit. So now that gave it another keyframe. So let's go right here. And now you can see these clouds are actually changing over time. That's pretty much what I wanted to show you on this one, was a couple of sky replacements. That upshot with the building came out pretty nice. And all you got to do is use the internal sky replacement. And if it's like a panoramic, you really can do some really smooth sky replacements because it works great for that when there's not a lot of power lines and little details. All right, that's it for this video. Thanks for watching. Subscribe if you haven't. I do appreciate it. Leave a comment if you got something you want me to make a video on, and I'll talk to you guys on the next video.